Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Court Cutting TV, Bluford's Tax Preparation, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, Casa Samtonieta India Lapa, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, John Boutique Hotel and Co-work, Montzon Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Here we are. It's August 19, and it is a pleasure to get together with you this morning. There's a lot of news on the table. Things are moving along just fine. I have a lot of great news, some of which are tangible. Others are more like campaign promises, but hey, you never know. I'm going to share what we have. I'm going to look forward to your comments and your suggestions as always. So we might as well get going because there's a lot of things to cover today. For starters, the Malecón will be renovated. The municipal government will soon begin expanding the northern section of the Malecón from 31 de Octubre Street to Argentina Street on Avenida Mexico. This project will likely change the way we look at the Malecón and the way the city looks at the Malecón. Let's get our bearing. I made a little map here. So this is the Malecón as it reaches Hotel Rosita, which is right here. So the two streets that are mentioned in the article are these two. This would be 31 de Octubre Street, and this would be Argentina Street. Now, Argentina Street intersects here, but this little block is known as Venezuela Street. So it is an interesting statement, this business made in the article, because one would think that the Malecón has to go around the Hotel Rosita, but authorities also mention that they want to connect the Malecón to Parque Hidalgo, which is over here. So this whole area, it's only 2 blocks, but this whole area is likely to change quite a bit. And of course, there were no artist renderings or anything at this point when the news were published. All we saw were, these lovely photos of happy politicians and decision makers. So we will have to wait and see what this is actually going to look like. In other news, I'm happy to report that the Boca de Tomates Turtle Camp has stated that they are doing great when it comes to turtle nesting activity collection, with nights in which more than 30 nets were collected in just 4 kilometers of the beach. Carlos Alberto Hernandez Mora, who oversees the turtle camp, has reported that the nesting rate at the camps exceeds presently 92%, and this is a figure higher than natural reproduction, which ranges between 80 and 92%. So the good news is that more turtles are doing it, or we are being more careful at safeguarding their eggs. Either or, it's excellent news. And construction of the new vehicular bridge in Puerto Vallarta at the Las Juntas intersection is 85% complete. Things are moving along, according to the Jalisco Department of Infrastructure and Public Works. The bridge, as we know, aims to streamline vehicular traffic between Puerto Vallarta and Bahía de Banderas, in addition to offering greater functionality through return lanes located below, which will allow motorists to merge onto Highway 544, which is a highway that heads towards Talpa and San Sebastián, or for those coming from Mascota to be able to return more safely and efficiently. So, more good news. Now, this is one that we're going to put on the same file as the funicular, Puerto Vallarta could have a free public bicycle system, said Mayor Luis Munguía in an interview. He added that he will manage the project with resources generated by the lodging tax collected by the Tourism Trust. Hopefully, before they do that, they will actually address and effectively label the current bicycle lanes in the city. Some of them are in disrepair, but it is a good thing that the mayor has vision. How and when this will happen is difficult to ascertain. But here's another one. Mayor Munguia also announced the upcoming implementation of a new tax, this one aimed at lodging platforms like Airbnb. The tax must be approved by the full city council, which will meet on August 27, so in less than 10 days. And this initiative, if approved, will be included in this year's revenue law projected for 2026. So this new tax has yet to be approved and won't be implemented until next year. Now, there are always two sides to a coin and two sides to a story. But when you look at this, you gotta wonder. What you're looking at is what our forests, our jungles look like when they have been obliterated by real estate developers. In this particular case, residents of Punta de Mita in Bahía de Banderas issued a strong call to federal authorities, including Profepa, which is the National Prosecutor's Office for the Environment, and Semarnat, which is the National Maritime Agency, to intervene in the construction of a tourist development that they claim is devastating the flora and fauna of La Cocina Beach. This is up by Punta de Mita. Aerial images released show that the project is progressing just a few meters from the ocean, where mangroves have been destroyed and the habitat of migratory birds, sea turtles, and reefs has been affected, which could take decades to recover. Now, let's unpack this for a second, because on the one hand, I hate to see devastation like that. On the other hand, projects are expected to somehow give back to the land what they took away from it. Case in point, our new international airport. A number of trees had to be removed for the expansion of the airport to take place. And we have reported that the number of trees that the city has committed to replant elsewhere in order to make this happen, or in order to compensate one way or another the destruction of our habitat. So I'm not going to immediately shade this development. I'm going to hope that they are expected to do something about it, either within the development or elsewhere. One would hope that in order to cover their asses, the people that are referred to in these news items would at least have the foresight to say, okay, so we're destroying some things here, but we're committing to doing these other things elsewhere. But I suppose that remains to be seen more often than not. Let's take a quick look at the weather forecast. I wonder what you feel about those kinds of mangrove devastations. I think it's only fair to give these developments a benefit of the doubt. I'm against them, but I would like to know what they are expected to do if they destroy the jungle in that way. Let's see. That cloud looks like the personal massager that your mother keeps hidden in her nightstand. Oh my God, that is very cryptic. 29 degrees right now. Humidity is at 74%. Our weather forecast tells us that we're going to have mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 40%, a high of 32 and a low of 25. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 73%. Let it come. A high of 32 and a low of 26. High 32, low 26. And then on Thursday, rain in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 82%, a high of 32 and a low of 25. Sounds like we're going to have a wet Pat Metheny, which sounds absolutely delicious if you ask me. Now, moving right along, I have other news that I want to share, starting with this one. There is an animal welfare festival coming up starting tomorrow. The Animal Welfare Department of the Luis Munguía administration is preparing for an intensive day of care for companion animals in Puerto Vallarta from August 20 to 22nd. The Animal Welfare Fair will offer free services such as sterilizations, vaccinations, and dog adoptions at various locations throughout the city, including La Lija, Domo Ixtapa, the municipal stadium, and the park that is right next to the Rio Pitillal, the Pitillal Walkway Park. So if you're looking to get your doggy snipped, if you're looking to adopt a doggy, this is the place to go. And how cute is this? How fun are these? The Annex Studio and Gallery is announcing that they only have 2 spots left for a Day of the Dead skull ornament workshop that is not going to take place until October 31st. But let the Day of the Dead frenzy begin. We know that people get truly, truly excited about it. And these felt skulls, they look absolutely pretty. I would be there in a heartbeat, but I think I'm going to let I'm busy crocheting. That's what I'm trying to say. But hey, if you want to do it, 2 spots left. Maybe they will add an extra session. But right now, give it a go if this fits your area of interest. And last but not least, last weekend, the announcement was made that the Maya train will arrive in Guatemala and Belize, becoming an international train. The project, jointly carried out by authorities of Mexico, Guatemala, and Belize, will seek to connect the region and create an ecological corridor to protect the natural reserves along their shared border. The announcement took place as part of the bilateral meeting between Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum and the Guatemala President Bernardo Arevalo, both of them seen here in this picture. At the conference held on August 15, the 2 leaders discussed various topics. The main issues revolved around security on Mexico's southern border, the use of clean and sustainable energy, migration, and the creation of joint employment programs. But if you ask me, the good part of this all is imagine taking the Maya train and being able to explore our neighbor country south of the border. That sounds absolutely heavenly to me. You let me know if this is something that appeals to you. I know that sooner or later, I'm going to hop on that train and I'm going to come back and tell you all about it. But first, let's have a look at this.
Few guitarists have reshaped the sound of modern jazz like Pat Metheny. For over 5 decades, he's blended warmth, innovation, and global influences into music that transcends genre. Discovered at just 19 by vibraphonist Gary Burton, Metheny's talent took him from Missouri's heartland to the world stage. His early albums for the legendary ECM label set a new standard for sound and storytelling. With longtime collaborator Lyle Mays, Metheny created music that's both intricate and instantly recognizable. From the driving pulse of phase dance to the haunting beauty of Last Train Home, his work speaks without words. This special presentation by music storyteller Paco Ojeda explores his evolution, his collaborations, and the stories behind his most iconic works. Perfect timing before his upcoming live concert in Guadalajara. Join us for an evening of music appreciation and discovery. Tickets, 300 pesos at the Joint's reception desk. Reserve early. Space is limited.
Okay, let's see what we have here. Pat Metheny is going to be awesome. It's going to be interesting because Pat Metheny is one of those artists that does not do a lot of media stuff. He now records a few YouTube videos and stuff, but most of his life is not documented with music videos and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of jazz concerts and things like that. So there will be a lot of listening. It's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Anyhow, let's see what we have here. Lots of good mornings. Thank you very much. Mark says, couldn't find Facebook notification this morning. I wonder if other people found their Facebook notification without a problem. The good news is that you know where we are Monday through Saturday. Let's see what else we have. Many, many good mornings. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, how nice to go to the beach. I was on the beach this weekend. I swam in the ocean. It had been ages, but I went to the water in Yelapa. It was wonderful. Pa pa pam param pam pam param pam 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 pam. Laura says, I think too many developments take away from the Puerto Vallarta charm. Forests and ecosystems are needed. We need to really make wise choices without impacting so many things. Let me react to this along with another comment that I caught at the corner of my eye. Laura, give me 1 second because what you said is really important. Let's see. Da, 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 da. And back to you on this one, Laura. Speaking of the Day of the Dead Skulls, send them a letter. You know, I mean, you already have the know. If you let the nice lady at the annex know your dates, they might take you into account. Then here's a second one of 3 that I want to talk about at the same time. Harold says, nothing wrong with development as long as the reestablishment of decent flora and fauna rules are enforced by the government. I hold on to that as well for a second. You could crochet Day of the Dead coasters. I always do every year, and I do them in multicolors. I think I've shown those to you, have I not? If I haven't, I'll look for one and I'll bring it on the broadcast. And I think this is the third one. I hate to be cynical, but if you look around at most of the new beachfront developments in and around PV, the builders have done little to improve their surroundings for local residents or fauna. Okay, you know, it is amazing to me, and this is just strictly my opinion. But even before we go there, let me do this for a second, because otherwise I cannot think clearly. There you go. Number one, and I'm going to make some general statements, and I know that generalizing is not always a good thing, but the more I speak with friends here in Puerto Vallarta, English-speaking locals and Mexican nationals, and the topic of condo developments or the topic of Emiliano Zapata come up in conversation, the reaction is, it's already too much. They've gone too far. More and more, I hear from people that have been, or people that know people that have been living in Emiliano Zapata, and now they don't want to live there anymore. People that invested in condos all of a sudden feel like, well, our condo is really tiny, so we want a bigger place, so we want to move elsewhere. We don't want to be surrounded by tourists anymore. And yes, going back to what Harold wrote, you know, you would think that as long as they enforce as long as they reestablish the damage to the environment by doing whatever actions are recommended by the government, it's not so bad that we have so many condos. And you would think that the condo developers would have the foresight to say, hey, here at, and they always give them funny names that, you know, we Mexican nationals cannot pronounce. Here at Mashusha, let's go with a new condo development called Mashusha. Here at Mashusha Condos, we care for the environment. Yes, we've destroyed an entire block of Emiliano Zapata, but this is what we've committed to doing, and this is what we are doing. So please know that when you invest here at Mashusha Condos, you are investing responsibly. Now, I'm not shopping for a condo, but wouldn't you want to invest, or at least wouldn't you be curious about Mashusha Condos if we knew what they're going to do to compensate their destruction? So again, reacting to all 3 comments, Mary, I don't think you are being cynical. I think it is unfortunate that, for example, for some of us, full-time residents in Puerto Vallarta, going to Emiliano Zapata is not something that we're looking forward to with boundless enthusiasm, certainly not during the busy vacation season when it's just plastered with tourists, it's no longer fun. It's no longer Puerto Vallarta. It's not what we love. It's become something else that may appeal to other people, but certainly not uh, to me. The good news is that there are many other places in the city where you don't feel that. And that's just my little 2 cents on the issue. Let's see what else we have. Linda says Maya train extension. Thumbs up. Let's go. I think it's going to be great. Jerome chimes in on the same thing. And Karen says, I think it's a Facebook thing. I have had to search every day the past few days. The good news is that you are able to find us. Trudy says, happy you enjoyed Yelapa. I can't wait to see your videos. Have a great day, Cluster. And Paco, thank you very much for that. One thing that I failed to mention today is that I've spent the last couple of days just moving along on our project, the Feel Good Vallarta project, which, of course, we needed to add some more information to the website to entice not only the general public to attend, but also to entice speakers to give workshops and mini conferences and to entice vendors. So the website is pretty much done. I need to add some cosmetic embellishments, and by tomorrow we will have connected the registration form so that anybody that is interested in being a part of the event can pre-register either as an exhibitor or as a speaker. And we're going to be looking at these applications, and I'm looking forward to this event. Again, Feel Good Vallarta is going to be similar to the volunteer event that we put together at the Joint Boutique Hotel. But in this particular new event, you have 3 ways to interact with healthcare and wellness professionals. Number 1, there will be 12 booths available. Number 2, you're going to be able to have a one-on-one mini consultation with the vendor of your choice in a one-on-one basis in a small conference room. And number 3, there are going to be conferences, and this whole event is free for the public. So I'm excited about this. Things are moving right along. And somewhere between that and Pat Metheny and our day-to-day things that we do, we are going to make time for Yelapa. I'm starting to sort through the materials, and I'm hoping to have some things to share with you within the next couple of days. Whoa, sorry about that. I keep hitting the wrong buttons, not intentionally. This is what I wanted. If you find what we do here inspiring, helpful, if it makes you laugh, if it helps you save some money or spend it wisely, consider supporting Coffee and Headlines. Consider spreading the word. We appreciate so much when you click like and subscribe, and when you recommend what we publish to others. Thank you very much. I will see you again tomorrow morning for more coffee, more headlines, and more stories. Take care.